We have to respect the sacredness of the African woman's vagina. No, I'm going to go.
You know, I thought the first time that I had to dismantle, dissect, deconstruct the absolute foolishness of this man they call Dr. Umar Johnson. First and foremost, let me digress real quick on purpose. Who the hell gave this man the title of doctor? Who did that? I need names, I need addresses immediately. Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm going to call you what your mama called you. Umar. Umar. You know what? Let me just go ahead and maybe there's a point to this. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. Maybe I didn't just hear what I just heard right now. So let me go ahead and, oh Lord. Okay, it's going to be one of them days today. It's going to be one of them. All right. Yeah.
Real rap. We must respect the sanctity and the sacredness and the divinity of the black woman's vagina. We must do that.
No, I heard exactly what I heard. I heard exactly. This race hustling, grifting, freaky deaky, creepy man known as Dr. Umar Johnson must be stopped. Now, for those of y'all who know a little bit about Umar, you probably know him best from the school that never opened, right? There was supposedly a school for black boys, the institution of Marcus Garvey, a Marcus Garvey Institute or something of that nature. Pan-African centric school that was supposed to open about 20 years ago, right? I was 9 years old when the promise of this school opening up was, or maybe 9, 13-ish in that mid-range, right? Maybe how long? Somebody out there, let me know in the comments. When was the exact date when he first let us know, when he first announced to the world that he would indeed be starting his own school? But anyway, it has been close to 2 decades, if not 2 decades. And let's just say literally nothing has happened. There is no school. For those of y'all who do not know the fulfillment of the story, there is no school. The school does not exist. So what does that say to me? That says it's a scam. Now, why do I call it a scam? Because people have been donating to this school that does not exist and has not existed for 2 decades, or close to 2 decades at least. They've been donating to this thing the entirety of the time. And I asked myself, if there's no school, then where the hell is the money going? Then I thought to myself, wait a minute. Authentic dashikis are not cheap. Authentic dashikis are not cheap. So let's go ahead and see what brother Umar Johnson. Look at, I already got him on my search. I already have. Why do I already have this man in my search? Like he's existed in here full time. Let's go ahead. What's this? Is this it right here? Yep. Is that you right there? Forgive me, folks. I am figuring all this out in real time. So, yep, that's you right there. Let me go ahead and show the folks. All right. So how many dashikis do we count here? 1 dashiki. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, picnic blanket type. Okay. You got the same. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Recycling. I can get down with that. 2 dashikis. Okay. Dashiki looking shirt. 3 dashiki. Short sleeve dashiki. Okay. What else we got? 5 dashikis. Okay. Damn it. What else we got? Let me uncover my face here. What else we got? Boom. Okay. Tie-dye looking dashiki shirt. That's definitely another dashiki right there. Folks, this is where y'all money has gone. If you donated a single dollar, it has gone to dashikis and it has gone to tricking. Now, some of y'all might not be familiar with this word tricking. Let me break it down in the best way I can. Tricking is when you are using your financial resources in order to get the cookie. That's what tricking is, right? You are purchasing, maybe not directly, but inadvertently for the cuckoo, for the taco, It is a down payment on a promise for tomorrow's cookie. That's what tricking is. And that's where your money has been going. Dashikis and tricking off on these chicks. Now, I really had to look into this because, I'm at a place in my life where I can't risk saying things that are going to get me into too much deep doo-doo because people be filing lawsuits on a daily basis. So I just had to make sure that what I was seeing was what I was seeing. Right? Was what I was seeing. And so I thought to myself, wait a minute, didn't I see this man with none other than Sukihana? Sukihana. Y'all know who Sukihana is? Well, if you don't know, now you know. This is Sukihana right here, folks. That's Sukihana right here. That's Suki. Okay? Now, why is that relevant? Because this is a brother who claims to be a voice for the upliftment of black people, which means that he would likely be gravitating towards the more positive aspects of the culture as opposed to the most degenerate. However, Suki just happens to be the most degenerate. Now, this wouldn't matter if it was just a picture that was taken with Sukihana, a little innocent moment. No, he literally proclaimed words out of his own mouth that he would wife her up if a few conditions were met. He would wife up a chick whose claim to fame was eating a man's booty butthole. There's no other way I can put it. These are the facts. That's her claim to fame. And he, Dr. Umar Johnson, I used to think this was just a race grift, but now I realize that this is a ploy to get the il nana, to get the cookie, to get the taco. That's what this is about.
Because if I look back, the situation I'm going through right now, brothers, I'm talking to my unapologetically African anti-snow bunny males right now. I'm talking to my unapologetically African anti-snow bunny males. The situation I'm going through right now is because at that time, 14 years ago,
what?
And 23 years ago,
okay,
I did not have the respect for the sacredness of the black woman's vagina.
Okay. I'm assuming what he's talking about is the news that recently broke that Umar is a deadbeat father. And his daughter came out and basically started spilling beans on the entire situation. I assume that's what he's talking about, stating those numbers, 23 years back and 14 years. I guess that's when his two baby mothers became baby mothers by him. And those are exact moments in history when he left those women to raise those children. That's what I'm assuming. This is allegedly. Now he is twisting it into a story of respecting the black woman's. I have to have a serious conversation for the folks who are susceptible to cults, to personality, things of that nature. Get some help, whether it's therapy, whether you're doing shadow work, go to your local church, whatever it is, please get your mind back right. Maybe you might not want to go to some of these local churches because you might end up in a cult anyway, but please take care of your mental health because there are people who see this man and think that this is real. They take him seriously. The pandering appeals to somebody. That's why he continues to speak, and that's why he continues to have new dashikis. It's because somebody out there, I don't know who, but somebody out there is funding this dude's lifestyle. And these are the types of things that he is saying, and they are eating into it. These are the tasty morsels that they consume on a daily basis. And I know I can be ridiculous. I know I can be off the cuff. I know sometimes, okay, the things I say may be controversial, whatever it may. But At the very least, I'm going to tell you this. Everything that comes out of my mouth is what I genuinely believe, and it has one purpose and one purpose only. To tell you the damn truth, at least of what I believe, my perspective. You going to know how I believe or I stand on something or how I feel about the thing. Even if I'm dead ass wrong, I'm going to let it be known. That's just me. Okay? I have a promise with God. I said, every day I must tell the truth in order to be able to lay on that mattress at night and go to sleep like a baby. I need to get it all off my chest. That's the agreement we got. He said, use your gift in order to tell the truth, and you will have no problem sleeping. It is really that simple. But when I see a dude like this, I think to myself, well, I've already come to the conclusion that he is indeed a grifter. He's indeed a scammer. But then it just continues to elevate. And it's like, are people not seeing this? This is one of the most dangerous type of archetypes, next to maybe like a male feminist, the ones who pretend to be all about women's rights and to being the creepiest of them all. You know, the Weinsteins of the world, the male feminist. Yeah, okay. Yeah, these dudes right here. See, we got to come together. The black man and the black woman. No, what he wants to come together is his you know what and her you know who. That's what he wants coming together. He wants the cookie. He wants the brownie. Well, allegedly, he also wants the white chocolate. Allegedly, he wants the snickerdoodle as well, right? He talks all this talk about anti-snow bunny, and the people who are the most obsessive about some of these subjects are usually the most suspicious. Like if you're anti this, I'm so anti-snow bunny. Them the ones who are the most obsessive about it. So y'all better watch out. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the pastor who's up there preaching about the same thing every time is usually the most guilty. The one condemning everybody else on something every single time is usually guilty of it. Usually. So let's let this dude continue. I don't know what else we could even get into. I'm not about to get into 22 minutes of this foolishness, but we're just going to let him cook.
Like I should have. And the universe punished me for it. I'm being honest right now, family. Black queens, are you with me? I can admit to the black woman right here, right now in Los Angeles, the reason I'm going through what I'm going through is 14 years ago and 24 years ago, I didn't have the level of respect for the black woman's that I have now.
The reason you're going through what you're going through is because you weren't willing to take responsibility for your own children. The reason why you're going through what you're going through is because you have not fully accepted what it is to be a man, which is to take on the responsibilities that you create. Now, maybe you didn't make a promise to that woman to say, I will, essentially take care of you. I will be here I'll be your covering. I will be the leader of this household, and I'll make sure that you and our child are safe. Maybe you didn't make that promise. But the moment you laid up with that woman or those women, you created the opportunity of you having a lifetime of responsibility. I don't give a damn if you paid out and you cut a little check or whatever it is. Your daughter did not have her father around. And this is a heartbreaking phenomenon. We see it more times than not nowadays. And I speak to it, well, not just when it's, just the ridiculousness of Umar, but I speak on it with pretty much any and everybody. I didn't have kids out of wedlock. I made sure that if I was going to be in those types of activities, I won't be laying up with somebody, whatever it was. I had to make sure that I was willing to have that individual be the mother of my children. That's the God honest truth. Because you can be on the pill, you can be on some type of contraceptive, whatever it may be, right? You could use protection, but there is always going to be a chance of a child being born. And if that is the case, you are now responsible. That child did not choose to be here, but you chose for that child to be here the moment you made that decision. And a child is a blessing. And you better take care of that blessing. The reason you're being cursed, quote unquote, the universe is cursing you, is really your own self-condemnation, is because you bailed on your responsibility. It had nothing to do with your respect for the black woman's you know what. He is still out here trying to get more cookie. He is still out here trying to get more. He's out here trying to hustle the cookie out of somebody so he can now have another story in 10 years to say the reason why, 24 years, no, now it's going to be 30 years ago or 35 years ago, 24 years ago, and 11 years ago. The reason why that this happened to me, brothers, you unapologetically anti-snow bunny brothers out there, the reason why is not because I was irresponsible, but instead because I did not respect what I must now respect. So if you, ladies, if you just give me a little bit of that cookie right now, I'll give you a little bit of these cash apps that I've been getting from those who have been sponsoring a school that does not exist, because he likes to do that. I haven't heard it so far, but he likes to repeat things 3 times. Actually, technically he did, because he said the exact same statement over. He just usually likes to, repeat a word or whatever it is for emphasis. But yeah, it's just going to be another victim of the Umar cycle. And the victim is the children, by the way, right? These grown adults who are choosing to lay up as one, it's your responsibility as well. You are now a mama because you made a decision. Essentially, the thing you're doing creates mamas. That's kind of how this entire biological apparatus, the system works, right? If you want to create child, you go through that process. So if you go through that process, but you don't want a child, you may very well end up having one. And you see, if you then make a decision to unalive your own child and create greater levels of trauma, spiritually, mentally, as well as emotionally, that's a responsibility. That's a consequence of the decision that is made. We're not going to sit here and then play with the semantics and in your window, whether there's actually women's reproductive rights. I don't play that. You have taken that baby's life. And if you take that child's life, which is happening disproportionately in the quote unquote black community, a black woman is 4 times more likely to unalive her child than even a white woman. And look at the per capita, look at the numbers, look at the population, 13% of the population, something is off there. The culture is backwards. The culture is backwards. But yet we've used this as a solution for a problem that should not exist in the first place, which is the ability to simply keep them closed and keep it in your pants, fellas. But instead, we're out here, trying to get another baby mama. Not trying to create a wife, but baby mama. That's what he's out here trying to do.
That I have now. So I know that this is karma. This is karma. Even though I was done wrong, I could have never been done wrong if I didn't do wrong. Let me say it again. If I would have made better decisions, black men, young kings, listen to me, young kings. Listen to me, young kings. I don't want you to go through what I'm going through. I don't want you in a situation where your babies are kept from you because you didn't wife out. I don't want that. So you must respect the sacredness of your Shango stick. I'm not going to respond to the silly question.
Did he say Shango stick? I don't think I've ever heard. One thing that Umar's going to be is a damn entertainer. He is the court's jester indeed. My goodness, you must respect your Shango stick. I mean, you should. Ladies, respect your body, respect all of that. Fellas, respect yours, right? But the respect doesn't come with, okay, now I know, let me go ahead and get more. Like, no. Respecting it means to keep it to yourself until you are giving it to somebody who is actually worthy of that you're willing to create and build a life with. That's how that part works.
In the chat, because a lot of these questions were already answered in previous lives, so I'm not going to respond to you. Go watch my previous lives. Silly questions like, did you go to court for custody? That's a silly question. That's a silly question. Of course I went to court for custody. But if you don't obey the custody order.
Oh yeah, no, I'm seeing what this is. This is his PR tour for all the news that has come out about, him being a deadbeat father. That's what this is about. I get it. Well, you know what, brother, all the best to you. I hope you are able to respect your Shango stick, and that you do indeed respect all, not just the brown, the black, but the brown, the beige, the pink, whatever, right? I hope you respect all colors of cookies by basically keeping your hands off of them, unless you're actually going to create a stable foundation around them. I hope you're able to do that so we can all do better for each other. And yeah, that's it for today. I got to go ahead and fill up my little teacup because I bet you by next week, this brother will be right back. We'll be right back here sitting in the very same place, going through the very same thing. And you know what? I'm here for it. As long as y'all here for it, I'm here for it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there. Or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 365, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.